What is up, guys? Welcome to Focus. I hope everyone is staying focused. My name is Luis Perez, and we have here Jacob Rodriguez on episode number 6.
Yeah, episode number 6.
Number 6, it just keeps stacking. I can't wait for episode number 100.
Time flies, I swear to God.
Yeah. Well, guys, I want to address a comment because we got comments, right? And I mentioned in the previous podcast is that every time we get a comment, that's the first thing that we're going to do until...
And this was a great comment as well.
Yeah.
What was his name? Brian?
Lewis,
yeah. You want to read it?
Yeah, I got you. So,
Perfect.
Lewis, let me pull it up right here. Lewis, okay, so this is the last podcast, the episode number 5. Also, he added, also another thing to add, business and social media, these things are competitive. I see people fail because they try to copy someone else they see in person. Oh, okay, so sorry, I read that so wrong. I see I see people fail because they try to copy someone or they seen this person do it, so they go ahead and do it. Okay. But just because it worked for them doesn't mean it works for you. What I'm trying to say is this. Be unique. What attracts people in the audience is something that they've never seen before. Be unique, be yourself, trust the process. And I totally agree with that. You definitely got to be unique. And I feel like a lot of people make that big mistake and try to be like, they try to copy other people and it doesn't turn out the way that it went for them. And then it kind of like drives them down. Like it's...
Yeah, I mean, I bet Luis sees that from the viewpoint of being a influencer, per se. I don't know if you like the word influencer, but I still threw it at you.
That's...
I probably hate that word. But business, from restaurant business-wise, it completely makes sense. Creating your own brand is super important. You have to find your niche and what people like and what separates you from any other type of restaurant, you say. At least from my standpoint. You know, what does my restaurant do differently compared to all the other Mexican restaurants in the state? And my main focus is the experience. So I truly focus on the experience that you have inside the restaurant. And, you know, maybe it's not, you know, you can't really create new dishes. Every dish has already been created.
Yeah.
People have created aguachile, which is raw shrimp, you know, raw shrimp with lime juice, cooked in lime juice. You know, ceviches, carnes, mariscos. They've created everything. But it's just like, how do you differentiate yourself between all the other competitors in the world? So it's truly the experience you have at your table, how you're greeted, how respectful everybody is towards you, the way we make you feel. If you come with your kid, giving them a dessert on the house with a nice little design for that kid to make them feel special. You really want everybody to feel special. And I think one of the biggest brands in the world that does it super well is Disney. Disney will look at the ugliest kid in the group and will say, that's a handsome fella right there. And they will make you feel so loved and so part of a group that, you know, they'll become loyal to Disney for the rest of your life because they really attract to the young people at a young age. Even though that might be the ugliest kid inside the group, the ugliest kid you've ever seen, they will make them feel special. And at the end of the day, you have to do the same thing when you come inside the restaurant. You have to make sure everybody feels special. I don't know if you want to talk about it social media-wise.
Well, that kind of goes into the... Because he said be different, be unique. But it's interesting because sometimes in the business, it works out.
Yeah.
You could copy somebody and it works.
Yeah.
Just like social media.
And not only that, not just you copying people, but people are going to copy you.
It goes both ways.
Both
but
ways.
one thing I've seen, it only works in the beginning.
Yeah.
Long term, it does not work out. Because where are the ideas coming from? Who's the person coming up with the ideas?
Yeah.
Is the person who you're copying. You don't know what he's thinking. You don't know his other moves. You don't know what he's planning. That's what you're lacking. You can copy him for an extent, but it's gonna long term it's not gonna work out.
And no, I think you said a really good point is you have to see what works and how you could twist it to make it work for you.
Yeah.
Because I see other restaurants that do crazy amount of sales. For example, Poppy Steak. Poppy Steak does like $42 million in sales. And I don't know if you've ever been to Poppy Steak, but Poppy Steak is tiny. Tiny. This restaurant is super
like a small
small.
restaurant, okay.
It's probably not even the full size of my dining room. It's smaller than my dining room.
Oh, it's like
And that restaurant does $42 million a year. And it's because
How?
it's the whole restaurant experience. They sell a tomahawk steak, a Wagyu tomahawk steak from Australia, for $1,000. $1,000.
Oh,
And
I
so
saw
that's
you
where they
post that
open
on
they open the briefcase and
Oh.
they you're like woo and they flame it
Gotcha. Okay,
and
that
they
makes
torch it in
sense.
front of you and stuff like that. But it's just they really focus on their experience. So what can I do similar to them
Yeah.
to make sure I could charge a little bit extra on certain
yeah.
dishes? Obviously, they're in a great the one of the biggest cities in the world, Miami. So it's easier to charge the people there, especially because you have so many people traveling to Miami.
Yeah.
Not like Fairfield or Stamford, Connecticut. People don't travel here.
The
But-
economy's higher.
yeah, no, I mean Miami's as high as it gets. It's super expensive.
There's big
but it's
ballers
just
down
people. We don't get tourists here. We don't
Yeah.
get people that travel out the country just to come over here to Connecticut. And so it's like you don't. They really make sure that the experience is well inside the restaurant. And when I was there in Miami, I ordered that steak and I felt like a king. Like I felt amazing. You know, the steak was probably mid. It was probably like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
But the way they made me feel made it taste like a 15 out of 10.
They let the whole restaurant know.
They
Yo,
ma-
we got a baller over here.
Yeah, we got a ball. And I remember I ordered the steak. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get that steak. And the waiter was like, oh wow. And I'm like,
Even the
damn,
waiter.
like he was probably trained to say that. He was
Yeah.
probably trained to make you feel really well, like a baller. But like, it's kind of like that manipulation viewpoints because like he really made you feel well. And I mean, that at the end of the day, that's his job to make sure your experience
Yeah.
is super well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk to?
Yeah, I
first
feel like
point?
we're talking too much about this topic because we got to get on.
I think
on
we
the
can make
main-
another podcast next
We could.
podcast. Let's talk about branding
We could,
and,
we could.
and really focusing on your brand.
Okay, in that case, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, which is kind of the same thing, but in social media.
Perfect.
But today, guys, we're gonna be touching. Oh, first of all, Louis, thank you for the comment, bro. Appreciate it. You actually watch. He actually watched a lot of the podcast if he's commenting about that. So I appreciate that. Let us know
Appreciate
if
it,
you
man.
like the podcast.
Day one. You're here from the bottom, bro. So wait till we're at the top.
Yo, stay here.
Yeah.
We won't forget about you. We'll keep
Episode
you up.
100. Episode 100. You know.
Be like, yo, Louis, out of 100,000 comments, we'll pick you quick because we already know who you are.
Yeah. Maybe you'll be the next guest on a podcast.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Yo, but today, guys, we want to talk about something. The black sheep. The black sheep of the family. Who's the black sheep? And the reason I want to talk about that is because the other day I was checking my subscribers on YouTube and I noticed a guy named Jacob Rodriguez that followed me. That subscribed. And I click on it and it was Jacob.
No way, bro. I would have never guessed.
Bro.
I would have never guessed.
But bro, that got me thinking because you have 2 videos there from like 8 years ago? 8 or 10
longer,
years ago?
Yeah, probably 10 years ago. Yeah.
Bro, you were doing YouTube and the way that bro, you look like an influencer. Like, you could tell you had this in you since you were a little kid.
Yeah. I
And-
mean, I definitely didn't go off of that, but I mean, I've always had the dream my whole life, and I've never lied about that. You know, I have videos. That's the thing. There's only 2 videos on my channel. I had like 14 or 18 videos, dude. I was doing consistent videos.
You definitely did because you were talking about, oh, I'm going to post I know the last podcast and I'm like, oh, but there's no other podcast. He must have
Yeah.
hit it him or something.
Yeah, no, I hit a bunch of because it's super cringe for me to watch. But
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
I still have those videos saved somewhere, I think, and I could look back at them. But you know, I've always had it in me to go out on social media because I kind of knew from a young age that
Yeah.
social media was so powerful, and I had the vision, but I didn't know how to execute.
Dude, bro, did you edit your own videos?
Yeah, I would edit. my own
Dude, that's
videos,
awesome. Like, I was looking at that and, bro, around the same time that you were doing that, I was doing the same thing.
Dude, it took me. I remember it took me like fucking 4 or 5 hours to edit my videos back in the day. Yeah.
They still take around that time.
But I was editing it on my iPhone, bro. I was
Oh,
editing
yeah,
it on
dude,
my
I used to
iPhone,
do
so
that. That's
I
crazy,
don't
yeah.
know if it was like CapCut or some. No, it was
What
like
was it?
iMovies.
Yeah, iMovie. No,
you
what
cut,
was
you
it?
cut like the clips
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
There was another one. What was the other one? It was something. It was similar to iMovie too.
Yeah,
But that's all, bro. I immediately when I saw that video, I pictured myself. I was like, bro,
yeah,
he followed the same. Like we grew up with the same mindset,
yeah, yeah.
and that's why I want to talk about the black sheep because you'll know if you're the black sheep. You'll literally start to think differently, and everybody around you will think that you're crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I got bullied for those videos. Bullied for those videos. They would
Yes.
like I was in class and people would play
Did
those
you really?
videos and
Yeah.
I mean it was super embarrassing. You'd be like, "Hey everybody, J-Rod Awesome here," and so everybody would be like, "Oh my god, look at this fucking stupid kid, bro." And I remember I enjoyed doing the videos,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like it unmotivated me for a while, and I think one of the reasons that I was so afraid of posting on social media for such a long time was because of those memories when I was like 10 years old, because you know getting made fun of is not easy to
Yeah.
surpass and really get
Yeah.
yourself out your comfort zone, but it's eventually something I did.
That, well, no, that really.
Yeah, so I mean, being the black sheep, being the
I
black
got lost
sheep.
in thought right there.
Yeah, I
But
think
the black
being the
sheep,
black
like-
sheep, I think you kind of know from a young age, like you want to be different. It's not just wanting to be different; it's kind of feeling a little different.
Not even that. You're just doing things differently. That
Yeah.
you don't even realize till you grow up and you're like, I was always the black sheep. Like I did these things differently, not even knowing that my mindset was just different, and I didn't even realize till I grew up.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do also with like the way you grow up and who you
Yeah.
grew up with. I think your environment is super important. But like I remember when I was growing up, I've always been someone that's super big into hospitality. But little did I know is that when I was little, I was doing it already myself because I was kind of trained that way. So, for example, I would hold the door for people when I was like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
And, in my mind, it was completely normal. But who holds a door for you nowadays? Nobody, bro. Nobody. People will rather slam it in your face than hold a door for you.
How old were you?
Like 6, 7 years old, dude. Like it was super small, and it's just kind of something that was normal to me to open the door for somebody or to make somebody's day. If I saw like a grandma, struggling with her groceries, I would offer to carry the groceries for
Bro,
her.
I was the same way.
And
I was the
so
same way.
I bet it has a lot to do with our parents
Yeah.
and the way we grew up. Thank God I have great parents, mom and dad, still with me. But I think those things are something like other people are not willing to do. Yeah, I remember I had friends like, dude, why are you gonna help them? You don't even know them. It's like,
That
dude,
sounds so alien to me now.
dude, it's horrible. It's
That's-
like people really think like that. I have a kid stuck in my mind telling me that. I remember when I was younger, I would help these people. Like if something fell and they're like, "Why are you helping them? You don't even know them."
Really?
And I'm just like, dude, that's just like kind of born in me. Like if I see someone struggling, I'm gonna help them. I don't even care if I know them, if I don't know them. I'm gonna do it.
My dude grew up to be a villain.
Started as a villain, finished as a hero.
That's taking over the world now.
One step at a time, man. One step at a time.
Man, well, damn it! I was gonna say something. This always happens, right?
Nah,
This always happens. But it's a podcast.
Yeah.
We're winging it, guys. We come up with topics and we're like, yo, we're gonna go in here.
I feel like we're getting better though. Honestly, I watch our newest podcast, even though we're only 6 podcasts in with this one.
Yeah.
I feel like we're becoming more professional every single time.
Like
and
the
I
way that we
think
speak.
the way we speak,
Yeah.
or the way we hold themselves, even the setup is getting. We're learning how to set
Yeah.
up better.
Yeah.
As you guys notice, we have no sun in our face right now, which is killer.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
I forgot to mention that. No sun today. Yo, and
Yeah, and where we usually sit,
Yeah,
there's sun right
there's
now.
sun right
so
there.
we learn from our mistakes.
we
Okay?
dodged it.
But I think being a black sheep, what you have to kind of start like Luis said, you start moving differently, and I think you have to kind of start seeing those things as soon as you can. The sooner you can notice those things, the better, because there's gonna be opportunities that come to you that you have to kind of like force yourself to get into. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Even if you don't have a certain skill set, it's important that you build on that skill set. And so, one thing that, like I said in the last couple podcasts as well, is that I was super shy, I was super introverted, and now I've become someone that's more extroverted. Even though I'm still inside, I still feel like an introvert. To me, many people tell me like, oh, they always ask me, like, have you always been extroverted? And I've never been extroverted.
Yeah.
I've always been someone that's kept to myself and kept a lot of things to myself. But it's just getting out my comfort zone to really become an extroverted person. And now I'm extroverted without even thinking about it. And honestly, that has a lot to do with now my network, knowing so many people, having the connections I do have now. And, I think being kind at the end of the day gets you so far. For example, if I have I meet someone in the restaurant, I'm touching tables, I meet somebody at the restaurant, and they just seem super nice, super humble. What do? I give away a dessert. I give away free dessert. I'll give them a shot of tequila, a glass of wine, a bottle of wine. Oh my God, sorry for that background noise, you guys. And I try to make them feel as special as they can because they made me feel good because
Yeah.
they didn't even know who I am, and they're treating me correctly and they're treating me nicely with respect. The least I can do is treat them with respect and give
course.
them something on the house. So I give them something on the house, and at the end of the day, they always start coming back. They come back. Right before we were setting up the podcast, there was a table right over here.
Yes.
And
Literally
they've been
just
coming
that.
to the restaurant for years, and they see me. They're like, "Hey, Jacob, how are you?" Blah blah blah. And so it's great to have communications. I see them. I always give them a dessert on the house. They didn't ask for it. They never. If I don't give them a dessert, they don't ever say anything. But they're always super nice, super humble, and I really appreciate that. So I think I took advantage of the situation of becoming more extroverted. And at the end of the day, it pays off.
It's
Business
a
wise.
very big skill that you need to learn. That's like the number one skill that I would recommend anybody start to learn is.
And I've seen it in Luis too. Don't get me wrong. I see Luis. He's a little bit more introverted than you would think. I remember at the tequila dinners, the first couple tequila dinners, you kind of keep to yourself with the camera. Maybe you talk to the other cameraman. That's it. But that was it. The other cameraman. That's it. But now I see you're going up to the restaurant tours. You're going up to the girls. You're going up to the guys. Let me get a video. Let me get a video. Look at a video. You just become so comfortable now with surrounding yourself with other people that you really don't care about what they think. And I think that's amazing.
But you know what? There's a thing about me. I'm a very serious person.
Yeah.
But if you talk to me, if you manage to have the balls to talk to me, because I don't look approachable sometimes.
Yeah.
But if immediately people start talking to me, it's like boom, my whole personality changes. I don't know what it is. I grew up with like I guess everybody around me was kind of serious, so I grew up like serious. But once I start to talk, it's like boom, it comes out.
The soft giant, they say. They say because Luis is huge, bro. He's like fucking
So big.
230 pounds,
Huge.
jacked, bro. And then you talk to him, he's like, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" But I think it's great. At the end of the day, you have to kind of grow your skill sets and see what you're lacking in and trying to improve. One of the things that I lacked in very much so when I was earlier in my career was interviewing people. So when I would do interviews, it was hard for me to come up with like questions to ask. And, I would do a lot of and, I would look super unprofessional. But now that I do interviews, like yesterday I interviewed a manager, and it comes out super naturally. Like I know exactly what to ask. I know what to go off their experience. All the questions you need to ask in an interview. What type of experience? Why'd you leave? What makes you happy? What do you do on your free time? Those type of questions, so you can really get to know what someone is like. And at the end of the day, you could kind of pick out a bad apple whenever you were doing those type of interviews. But that's a skill set that I knew I was lacking in, and I've slowly been improving in it.
And the more you do it, the better you're gonna get.
Exactly. You have to get out of your comfort zone more and more and more. Practice. One thing that I used to lack in a lot was eye contact. I would look at people in the eyes, and it was super uncomfortable for me. Like I would hate it. But now I've forced myself to make more eye contact. Let it go for like a minute or like for a second or so, but always come back to the eyes because it shows respect and it shows maturity.
Yeah.
So it's super important for you guys, especially. I don't know if people are younger than us or even older than us, but just keep eye contact, firm handshakes, be respectful, be educated, because at the end of the day, that's how you could show yourself off.
Yeah, and people who, bro, this is like alpha stuff. Eye contact, you will break someone with the eye contact.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who it is. And I actually learned the eye contact reading a book.
Yeah.
I forgot what book it was, but it was like the eye contact. I was like, the eye contact.
Yeah.
Then I started to implement it, and people they'll look down.
Yeah.
You can start to feel like people get intimidated by it. But it's because you the way you carry yourself and the more confident you feel and
Yeah, the way you walk, the way your posture is, putting your chest up, walking with a straight back, a firm handshake, not too hard, not to be aggressive, but a firm handshake. Always, if you know somebody, don't ever ignore them. Always go up to them. Hey, how you doing? Even if you don't remember the name. Be like, hey, I saw you here last time. What was your name again? And always make that connection with them, because if you recognize somebody, always interact with them. At the end of the day, that shows respect, it shows maturity, and that's the way you want to act. And I mean, going off of that, that helps you really on your entrepreneurship skills if that's something that you're looking for at.
Yeah.
I'm super happy. We have something to announce. Luis is officially part
Oh,
of.
we're gonna say that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it out here because I think it's a huge
Really?
thing for us. Luis is officially part of the Puerto Vallarta team. He is officially on payroll now. So he used to do videos on us. I used to hire him for this project, but he is officially part of the page. He's currently running the Puerto Vallarta page. So if you see a couple mega viral videos soon, you know who it's coming from. And I think this is really going to help us for the future. And I think I'm going to see. I really hope for a lot of growth, and I think that's what we're going to get.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna go sick, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I don't think I've ever mentioned what I do.
Yeah.
I always said I was an entrepreneur on here, but we never really said what we did. Everybody knows what you do, but I do videos. I have my own videography company, and I've been doing videos for a couple people. And Jacob was my first client, and yeah, just grew up from there.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I met him. I still remember him. I'm like, oh, he's like, oh, I have a fitness page. I'm like,
Oh,
let
you
me
met me
get.
through the fitness page. That's right. I was still doing the fitness content.
You were at bartending and you
Yeah.
were doing the fitness page, and I remember he was like, I'm like, let me guess, is it Luis Fitness? And it was like literally Luis
Fitness.
Luis Fitness, bro. So I was like right at it. But I'm like, holy shit! I see the quality of videos he does. I'm like, holy shit, this dude has so much talent. I'm like, and I've always had the vision to grow the social media page. So now our social media page has a little bit over 27,000 followers, and I still see much more potential for it. But I saw his talent. And I'm like, dude, let me get you in on this. Like, let me hire you for an event. And so I think the first event that we ever did with you was a tequila dinner.
Yeah, and after that.
And after
we
that,
just
it's
started working.
repeat. And then, thank God we're here now. And I think everybody always comments on people that they don't comment on the Instagram, but people like that I know, they speak to me like, holy dude, what are you guys doing on social media? And like, why are you guys making these like movie like trailers? And I'm like, I got lucky. Thank God. God puts people in your path.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta either take advantage of it, don't take advantage of it. So, I saw his talent. I reached out, and here we are now.
I met Jacob through my work and my come up, and Jacob was coming up too, and boom, we met in the middle, and now
I was managing, I think, when I met you, right?
Yeah,
I was managing.
No, you were bartending.
I was bartending still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was bartending.
But it was like that week, and then you became like an assistant manager.
Yeah, I think I was bartending and managing a little bit. So I think I was an AGM already, but then I became the general manager here. But I always saw his talent and I saw his skill set, and you could tell when people buy followers and when they don't buy followers. I could tell you didn't buy the followers.
Never.
So all the interactions, the likes, the views. I'm like, this guy knows his audience and he takes advantage of it completely. So I wanted to do something similar for us. And little by little, I think we're growing the Instagram to where we want it to be.
Yeah.
And, we're going to build our audience. And we're going to build it more and more and more. And then eventually, little by little, that is going to generate to sales.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that I want to do with it. Like I was saying with the Instagram, there's a lot of changes that are going to happen, for the better. But my goal with the Instagram right now is to break that 30K and then eventually get to 100,000 followers. And I feel like that's super easy to get with your page. 100,000 followers is super easy.
That sounds crazy to me, and I am 100% positive that we're going to get there little by little. We have to stay strong, especially right now when it's so tough with inflation and all the problems in the world. Food cost is up the roof. Labor cost is up the roof. So it's through the roof. So it's super important, to take advantage of social media because that is free marketing. Although I'm paying him, it's free marketing, at the end of the day. Because I could pay $5,000-$6,000 a billboard, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get more sales. While social media, you could get so many more sales as long as you take advantage of it.
Yeah. And the outreach is so much
You
more
reach
different.
people across the country, and maybe eventually at one point people are going to be, oh, I traveled from California to come try your restaurant. And, if I ever hear that one day, it's going to be like, wow, like I really feel special,
Bro, just last month, the page, 2 million people visited the page.
Yeah. 2 million people.
You
The
think 2
video's
million
almost at 3 million.
How many people do you think, bro, 2 million people are not driving to see that billboard?
I mean, they might pass it, 2 million
Yeah.
over a good long period of time. But at the end of the day,
yeah.
how long are you having
Better
their
in a
attention
month?
span
Yeah.
when you're driving past a billboard?
true,
You'll get
yeah.
their attention span for 1 second. They might not even. They might look at the girl you have on the billboard, but they might not even look at the name of the
Yeah.
restaurant. While with a video, you'll catch people's attention span for 3-4 seconds, which at the end of the day, if someone's curious, they're gonna go on your page, look at your food, look at your drinks, look at all these type of different things, and then eventually, that will eventually they'll come to the restaurant. Again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To get back on the black sheep, because I feel like
We kind of got a little off topic. I
Yeah, we
get
did.
emotional talking about this stuff, man.
we did, but it's like it's part of it. The journey, guys, it's exciting because we're living through it. We're experiencing new things, and it's exciting for us to talk about.
Yeah.
And I bet you anybody watching this who's feeling the same thing, you know how this feels. But one of the things I wanted to say is like when I grew up, I want to talk a little bit how I grew up. And I grew up I was super motivated growing up. Like not because of anybody. It was something about me. And
motivation, yeah.
the one thing that I was super motivated was with working out.
Yeah.
Bro, when I was 6 years old, that's why I told you earlier, yo, when were you opening doors 6 years old? When I was 6 years old, I lived in Puerto Rico for a little bit. And I grew up around my grandpa, like kind of like took me everywhere. And he was all about like the hard work.
Yeah.
And bro, he would give me machetes and I would be like helping him cut
Who
stuff with
let this
machete.
man have a machete,
6
bro?
years old with a machete, bro. And then I was doing it for so many hours that I would see my arm pump. There was a nasty pump on my arm. My veins were coming. I was like, yo, I like this. And bro, that's how the fitness started.
Yeah.
Literally with the machete. I was cutting with the machete, and then I would go to the other arm. I was like, yo, this feels nice. And I would be like, Mom, look at
Jack, bro. You Jack 6-year-old.
Dude, I was ripped. Like I was super ripped when I was little. And then that's when I started doing push-ups. I started seeing videos. I started doing, bro, my dad would walk into my room and I was doing push-ups, sweating, like super sweaty.
Yeah.
But then I started to meet people in school. Motivating everybody to work out. When I was in Ohio, everybody who knew me, we're working out. If you're friends with Louis, bro, you're working out. We're doing something that productive. I doing YouTube with them. I have videos that
86 that. 86
nobody can see that. But with my friends doing YouTube, bro, I was like, it was working out, YouTube, trying to do content.
Yeah.
I grew up literally, this was my whole life up until now. And I knew every single year, I'm like, one day I'm going to blow up. And every single year I get closer.
Yeah.
Every single year I get closer. The closest I've ever got was with my fitness page.
Yeah.
Bro, a friend of mine that I don't talk to anymore, I told him the next time I blow up, that's going to be the biggest one.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it might be the podcast.
It might be.
Who know what it will,
You
but
never
my
know.
next blow up will be the biggest one. I
Yes,
promise you that.
He's manifesting it. And
No, it will be.
I think, dude, the way you grow up with your mentality was, it's going to sound cringe, but like alpha mentality. And I think it's super important because I was kind of similar to that way as well. My first burst of motivation was kind of work and also working out. I was always someone that was overweight until I was about 11 years old. And 11 years old, I started doing a bunch of cardio. So I would do like an hour and a half, 2 hours of cardio every single day. And boom, I remember like 3 months, I lost
At
like
11, bro.
30. I remember I
That
lost
doesn't
like
exist anymore.
30 pounds, bro. I lost like 30 pounds at 11 years old.
Really?
And I remember like I used to wear like a size 42 on pants at 11 years old. And I dropped down to a 28.
Wait, so when you mentioned, like, I think it was the last podcast, you said you were 240?
I was 225.
That was when you were 11?
No, that was like a couple of years ago. That was when I was like 18.
I was going to say.
But no, I was still big, bro. When I was like, when I was 11, I was always a bigger kid. Not necessarily fat, but a size 42 waist is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now, I currently wear a 28, but I dropped down from a 42 to 28, and I remember my pants would keep falling down, and that was the best thing ever. Because I remember kids at school would be like, dude, how did you lose all that weight? What happened to you? Are you not eating? Blah, blah, blah. And I was just really working out super hard. And then I eventually started getting along with my best friend, Connor.
Mm-hmm.
And, we started working out all the time together. And, we were known as like the gym rats in the school before everybody started working out. And same thing, dude. I think working out is such a great motivational.
It is. It also is
thing.
working out, bro. You can learn a lot by working out.
Self-improvement, pushing yourself hard. You can take advantage of it a lot.
Yeah,
honestly.
consistency. You'll learn consistency working out. And I took my working out and I made it and I implemented it with my content and it worked out. was as consistent I was with my body, I was with the social media, and it worked out for me.
Yeah, and I mean, you live and you learn. I think
Yeah.
Luis, now that he's older, he looks at his social media page, his fitness page. He's like, "Damn, I could have taken advantage of that way more before."
Money wise.
Yeah, money wise,
Yeah,
exactly.
money wise. Yeah, money wise.
And at the end of the day, I don't know if it's still recording. Yeah. So yeah, I think Luis, now that you look back at your fitness page, you're like, "Damn, I could have taken advantage of so many viewpoints."
Yeah.
Money wise, to make more money, generate more money. I mean, you really could make great money with social media. Great money with social media. And I think same thing with the restaurant. I think I can make so much money with social media. I remember I had this one video, and it was like one of my most viral videos on the Instagram for Puerto Vallarta. And I connected with a foodie. I hired a foodie. Foodie cost me like $300. And I remember I hired him, and his video went like 500,000 views, bro. That weekend, I remember every single one of my restaurants almost sold $20,000 at
Wow.
one day. And so, especially
social media.
Stanford was crazy busy that day. And it's because, people want to go to the next exciting thing. They want to do the next exciting thing. So it's like I made that video into more sales. And that $300 investment, I probably made thousands of dollars off of it. And at the end of the day, that's what you need. You need to do that. You need to see what can make you more money and what you can benefit from.
And you know what's funny? When you mention people can make a lot of money off social media, immediately people think like, oh, I'm going to start social media, get a lot of followers, I'm going to make a lot of money. But they don't really think how. They think Instagram is going to be paying them a lot of money. Instagram doesn't pay you a lot of money. The way people make money through social media is they monetize their content. If you don't monetize your content, you're not going to make any money.
Yeah.
You're going to make a little bit of money. I mean, on TikTok now, I see people get paid a couple $1,000s, but the amount of money that you could actually make if you monetize your own content is ridiculous. You can make easily 100, 200,000, $1 million a month on social media. Easy. And that's like low.
And he's speaking a different language to me. I have no clue how that monetization works. It's like putting ads on your videos, right? Or
no,
what?
monetization is the way that you look. For example, your restaurant.
Yeah.
Your monetization, your own monetization is your restaurant, your food.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by
Okay, yeah,
monetizing.
yeah.
Because when I started my fitness page, what
So
was
it's
I
like,
monetizing?
so it's like you get merch. So like, that's
That's how you monetize yourself.
Start selling your
Merch,
fitness
you
merch.
you start selling products, you start selling something. If you blow up on Instagram,
The TikTok shop.
yeah, you need a product. You gotta monetize yourself, and that's what people don't realize when they start social media is that
Yeah,
you gotta learn how to monetize. Yeah. And that's
that goes a little bit to the next podcast, is about the branding and stuff like that. We'll talk about next episode.
Can we write that down? I really want to talk about
Let's talk about monetization and branding. Yeah,
monetization and branding. Gotcha.
but it's super tough when you're young and you want to be the black sheep. Or you don't want to be. You're born the black sheep.
You're just the black sheep.
You have to really push away negativity. You have to push away the haters. You have to push away the people that really push you to be just like them, because you don't want to be the sheep. You don't want to be the sheep that follow everybody else around, because at the end of the day, that is not going to get you anywhere. You think Jeff Bezos, you think Mark Zuckerberg was a sheep? No, bro. They were black sheeps. They were different compared to everybody else. And they wanted to do something. They become so obsessed that they wouldn't finish until they got there. And you have to become the same way with whatever you're doing. You have to become so obsessed that you're the best, and then that's when you actually take advantage of the situation.
The beauty of being the black sheep is that you start to realize that everything around you is a distraction. I have a brother, and he's the complete opposite of me. You could tell, like, I could see something, and I could see an opportunity. He could see something, and it goes right over his head.
Yeah.
I grew up knowing who is not good around me, and the opposite for him. He would hang out with people. I'm like, yo, be careful with that person, and they would always screw him over.
Yeah.
I immediately know who. I grew up like that. I grew up with people didn't even tell me this. I just felt it. I just knew what was bad for me. What can I do different? What I wanted in life. I looked around, especially with the work. Bro, I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to wake up like everybody else and do this. And there's something bigger out there, and I want to look for it, and I'm going to look for it. And that's been my biggest motivation growing up.
And I think that's something that we really relate on, is that we're really good at reading people, and you have to learn how to read people. You have to learn your environment. You have to read people super well, because there are going to be so many bad people, influences inside your life. And it's just stop surrounding yourself with those type of people, because you have to surround yourself with people who are going to motivate you, that are going to support you in everything you do, not people that are going to try to push you away. I used to have this ex-girlfriend, big pothead, smoked a lot of weed.
Really?
Huge pothead, smoked a lot of weed. And I'm just like, dude, I don't want this in my life, bro. What can I do to get rid of this? And so, I got rid of her. I got rid of her, but like I'm like, is that really going to be somebody that's going to help me grow in the future? Is that going to be someone who really just pushes me down? And honestly, it's thank God. God has a plan for everybody. You have to always follow the Lord. The Lord is going to give you everything you need in life.
Yeah.
But life is you have to surround yourself with the correct people, because the correct people are going to let you grow. And they always say, if you hang around five
Losers.
people that smoke, you're going to be the sixth person that smokes. Yeah. If you hang around yourself with 5 millionaires, you're going to be the sixth millionaire.
You want to know what was one of my biggest con growing up? Con is negative, right? Yeah. Is I always wanted to help people when they didn't want to be helped. And it took me a while. It took me years to realize that you can't help anybody. You can only help yourself. And if they truly wanted to help, they'll show it. And I grew up giving everybody too many chances. I grew up trying to help everybody. Bro, I want people to succeed.
Yeah.
Bro, I love, like me, bro. All my friends, I've always put them first, because I was like, yo, do this, bro. You have so much talent. Yeah. You could do so much with your life. And it was like always on them, like, oh, let's do this. Because, bro, you got this. But it was like they're always steering the other way. And for over like a long term, they're really just holding you back. And it takes a while for you to actually realize that it's not worth it. You kind of have to play life very, what's the word? Selfish. You have to live life very selfish. And it sucks, but that's how it's got to be. Because
at the end of the day, I think I completely agree with you on those points. People are going to do what benefits them the most. So why don't you do what's going to benefit you the most?
Even though it's not going to benefit them. Yeah. They're not looking at it through your point of view. That vision that you have, if you're the black sheep, nobody has that vision. So when you tell people, oh, I want to do this, it'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? And
people are selfish. They won't even consider how you feel or what you're doing. They don't care about what's going on in your life. So why should you care about what's going on in their life? Why are you worried about them? If someone really wants to succeed, they'll tell you about it, and they'll try and do everything to be successful. But if not, they're not going to do anything with their life. Simple as that.
Bro, we're not nowhere near where we want to be in life right now. But I always thought about this. I was like, every time I like lose like friends or stop talking to people, it's like, damn. I know that one day I'm gonna get to where I want to be. I'm gonna be at the very top, and I'm gonna realize that I'm gonna be alone.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't mean it in a negative way, like I think, but it's like
you're gonna only make it alone. You gotta make it alone. No one's gonna help you make it to where you want to get, but you have to make it alone. You have to, like we talked about in the last couple podcasts. Is at the end of the day, no one's going to push you to do your goals. You got to push yourself to be your own goals. You have to have that self-discipline in yourself to complete what you want to do, because if not, you're not going to ever get anywhere. Yep. And I think that's super important. At the end of the day, don't rely on anybody else but yourself. No. And it might be someone that you think will never be a traitor to you, but at the end of the day, they are traitors, and they will take advantage of you.
And they don't even have to be traitors. You can have the best people around you holding you back, and you don't even realize it. Yeah. Sometimes having too much fun isn't what you need. Sometimes what you need to do is just concentrate and get your ass to work. I'd
rather have, less friends, but true friends, than more friends than fake friends.
I love that. Yeah.
It's super easy nowadays in this society to take that to be like, oh, I want to fit along with everybody else. I want to have 20 friends, 40 friends to go out with, and we all love each other. But at the end of the day, this person talks shit about this person talks shit about this person talks shit about this. Is that really a friend? That's not a friend. That is not a friend. And so you have to read your environment, read who you're hanging around with, and do what benefits you the most.
Yeah, the majority of the journey, bro, has been very solo. Yeah, very solo, and it's got to be like that.
And Luis and I are doing these podcasts, and we have some people, people that make fun of us sometimes about the podcast. And at the end of the day, we're like, We don't give a fuck,
Bro, that goes over my head. Bro, I had a fitness page. I've seen so many worse
It's like
stuff.
we don't care. We don't care about what
Yeah.
you think because at the end of the day, we believe in ourselves and what we're gonna do, and that's why we've been doing this 6
Yeah.
weeks in a row. And 6 weeks isn't that long of a time, but little by little, it's gonna become 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, a year, 52 weeks. So it's gonna be like, wow, like look how far we've come, look how much
Yeah.
we've learned. And I think we're getting better every single day in what we're doing, and we learn every single day from our situations and what we can do better.
And bro, that's so powerful of us to see that because a lot of people don't see that. And we instantly see it.
Yeah,
Like the shoes.
the shoes, bro.
You like, bro, he was wearing. And you know what's
Dirty
crazy?
sneakers, bro.
I was gonna tell you about that, and I was like, "Damn, I forgot to tell." And then you came up to me the other day, was like, "Bro, look at the shoes." Bro, I'm like, "What? This one read my mind."
I was always wearing these dirty.
Bro,
ass
but like the
sneakers.
fact that you like realize like we don't even have to tell each other when we pick up on stuff really
Yeah.
quick.
you have to like look at yourself and just see what can I
Yeah.
do better. What can I do to improve myself? And one thing I have not done to improve myself is fix my fucking allergies. I always fucking sniffing inside
Bro, the honey.
mic.
You need some honey, bro. You need the honey.
I need a honey. But little by little, you
Yeah.
have to improve yourself one way or another. Physically,
Yeah.
the way you dress, the way you hold yourself.
Yeah,
the
look at me.
respect
Look
you
at me
have
now.
towards
I'm wearing
yourself.
vests now.
He has blazers,
Yeah,
he's
the
wearing a blazer,
blazers.
and so you got to look professional. It's super
Yeah.
important, especially as a young person. You have to look professional.
Mhm.
I used to come into the restaurant with polos, jeans, and I was wearing casual wear. And not necessarily did I look bad, but I didn't look professional. And
No.
now I'm coming into the restaurant every single day with a blazer, and I feel good. I
Mm-hmm.
look good, and it helps me do my job better.
People see you very different.
Yeah.
The energy is different.
The
Like,
energy
people-
is
yeah.
different. The aura is different.
Yeah, it is. Gravitational, bro.
Yeah. And I think this is a great point. I don't know if you have anything else to talk about.
You want to leave it like that?
I think we should leave it at that. I think we talked about a lot of good points there.
Okay. I could keep on all day, but I'm gonna leave you guys with blue balls.
Yeah, some blue balls. And then next episode, we're gonna talk about branding.
Yeah, branding, and what else? Branding and
Monetization.
monetization. Yeah, that's huge. That's gonna be exciting, actually. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of The Black Sheep. Let us know if you're the black sheep. Did you grow up with a different mindset? We
Comment
genuinely
down below.
want to know. Because we want these black sheeps to be looking at this channel because this is why we started this. We want people to wake you up. We want you to realize these little points, all these little hurdles that we went through. We want to tell you so you could avoid them now and get to where you want to be faster.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, thank you guys again. Like and subscribe and comment below. We'll read it on the next one.
Stay
Peace.
focused.
Stay focused, guys.